So hello everyone and welcome to another Warframe fashion frame video. Now right off the start, I would like to apologize for the long intro. I got a little bit carried away by trying out that Captura option, the new option that's available in Warframe, and I found it to be so enjoyable that I got carried away and made this long intro. So sorry about that. And also, if you get a chance to try out that Captura, I would suggest it. It's a lot of fun, and you do get a few default scenery that you could run around in. And even if you don't take any movies, it does turn out to be a good work area to practice your Warframe mechanics. Okay, but enough about the Captura. This is a video on fashion frame, and let's move ahead to the topic of this video, which is the Dex Syandana. Now, if you recall, a few weeks ago, D had its anniversary celebration again, and just like with the previous celebrations, they provided the anniversary items to all the players, and they include the Dex Nouchalis or the Dex Nouchalis, I never know which way you pronounce it, the Dex Nouchalis, and the Dex Nouchalis. Now, I have all three of the weapons from the previous anniversary celebrations, but the one I was really looking forward to was the Dex Syandana. Now this turned out to be an unusual situation for me because my initial reaction when I first received the Syandana was a lukewarm reception. I wasn't particularly fond of the design, at least at first thought. And I realized the two reasons. One was the color of that very faded purple didn't particularly go well with the design. And second of all, the plasticky motion of the cape just wasn't too attractive. However, as I started using the Syandana and trying it out, I became much more and more fond of it. And I realized there was two key points that were really nice about the Syandana. One was its size. It had a very niche size which was larger than a scarf, but smaller than a full-blown cape. And there are situations when you don't want to have a full-blown cape and make yourself look like Superman or the Cape Crusader, but at the same time you don't want something as small as a scarf. You want something a little bit more substantial, and this turns out to fill that role very well. The other nice thing about this Syandana is the absolute gorgeous design of the Lotus on the top, and you don't notice that when you try it out with the original color, but you realize that as you test it out with different colors. First of all, the Lotus design is large, it's bold, and it's exotic, beautiful. But the other thing is it's shiny, it's metallic, and that makes it really stand out. And finally, thank you very much, DE. You made the color portion of the Lotus section separate from that of the cape, and because of that you could create these outrageously nice contrasting designs between the cape and the Lotus, and that makes the Lotus flower really stand out from the cape. And because of that, I really started liking the Syandana a lot, and so I figured I would make a video on it. And just like with all my other biased fashion frame videos, what I'm gonna do is to show examples of various frames using this Syandana and trying to see how the colors work with the different types of frames. Now, as with all my other previous videos, I won't be able to use it with all the frames, but I'll try to use it with enough frames to get a good idea of how nice this Syandana is. Okay, so first up we have Zephyr, and we have Zephyr in her Hagoromo Tenijin skin. And I've given her a gray, dark gray, orange sort of look, and I really like this color combination on her, so I've been using this for her skin for a while. But with the Dex Syandana, I think this looks even nicer. And as you can see, I made the color combination such that the Syandana's Lotus pattern is a glowing orange, and when you have a metallic orange look to it, I think it looks really nice. Now, of course, Zephyr is not the smallest frame, and because of that, I think this Syandana looks really good because it has a lot more substance than your standard scarf-like Syandana. Now, I've given her the color patterns that you see here, including the orange from the Shamrock. Now, As for her attachments, I've given her a different color combination just so that I could get the Lotus to glow orange on the Syandana. Aside from that, I've given her the EOS chest plate, the Dendra shoulder gear, as well as the Porta leg plate. So if you want to put together this sort of look, then you could use the same color combination and the same attachments. Now if you don't like that look, then you could try this sort of look. This is a black, purple, and light blue sort of look, and I really like this look as well. I made the Lotus pattern light blue in this case, and again, since the Lotus is metallic shiny, I think this glows really nice, and the blue contrasts the black and the purple really well. And overall, throughout this video, I will be using this contrasting sort of pattern because I think it looks really good on this Dex Syandana. Now as far as the color combinations, you can see it here. The attachments are slightly different, and I've added the EOS chest plate again, the Porta shoulder plates, and the Edo shin guards in this case. But overall, yeah, I think this one looks really nice as well. And one final example if you want a much more lighter look. So I'm using a off-white, a slightly bluish white here, as well as a blue-green sort of color, as well as red, and some dark colors here. And this one I think looks really nice as well, not only for Zephyr in the actual frame, but for this Syandana. Here, of course, I made the actual color of the Syandana much darker red than the frame itself, but I find that this looks really good. Now the other possibility, for example, you could try blue, and I think this looks really nice as well. Either way, I think this Syandana gives again a nice contrasting possibilities that will look really good on this frame. Okay, well, so much for Zephyr. Okay, so next up we have Limbo. And Limbo, I think this Syandana looks really good on him because of the fact that Limbo is not the easiest design to try to put together. His basic appearance is relatively bland. He doesn't have too many colored patterns on him, and he doesn't have a very intricate geometry. It's all just a dark suit and his top hat. And so by putting a lot of attachments on him, as well as a very complex design Syandana, you could get a little bit more structure as well as a little bit more complexity of colors. Now here I put together this sort of design, colors of white and purple, or off-white and purple for the frame, and I've used the similar sort of colors as well for the attachments here. But as you can see here, I've used blue for the Lotus pattern again, and again I think this looks really nice. Now if you remember in Zephyr, it was a dark Syandana with a blue. Here I have a light Syandana with a blue, and again, it's not really which way you do it, but more the contrast that really makes the Lotus stand out. And I think that's really one of the key points with regards to the Syandana. I've always found that Limbo was not an easy frame to fashion frame with, and I found that this turned out to come out really well. So here I gave him the Gazelle chest armor, as well as the Prisma Dendra shoulder pieces and the Quarro leg pieces. I've also added the Sivati Sakara regalia on his shoulders, and I think overall this looks really good. I don't remember what I put on for his chest sigil, if there is one, but overall, in any case, I really like how Limbo looks now with using this Dex Syandana. Okay, so next up we have Frost, and we have Frost in his Emperor Tenogen Frost skin, but it's close enough to the standard Frost design that I think this will work either way. I've given him kind of a military green, black, and orange sort of look, and I've always thought that this looks really good on Frost, this color combination, especially the Emperor Frost skin. And with a green and dark cape along with the fiery orange again of the Lotus, I think this looks really good. Now Frost is another one of those frames that's relatively large, and so smaller scarves looks really unusual on him. So I do like the kind of the massiveness or the substance that you could get from this Dex Syandana. Now as far as the attachments are concerned, I've added the Prisma Daedalus shoulder pieces, the Savati Sakara again, the Edo shin guards, and I gave him a steel meridian chest sigil. But overall, I mean, regardless of the attachments, I think this Syandana looks really good on Frost. And next we have Evora, and Evora is another frame that's not always the easiest to design because she has some gray areas that you can't really change the colors for. So you have to find something that blends well, and so I've used kind of this purple and dark color again. And you could use either a blue or a purple Lotus pattern for the Dex Syandana. Either way looks really good. But overall, since her gray is kind of a slightly purplish gray, this color combination works well on her. Now she has the EOS chest plate, the Edo shoulder guards, as well as the Edo shin plates, and again the Savati Sakara. But overall, again, I think this Syandana looks well on her because she doesn't need a full-blown cape, and a scarf would actually work well for her, but this can be kind of a replacement for a cape because she is a smaller stature and she doesn't require something as big as a cape. Of course you can go with one, but this gives her a little bit feeling of mobility and goes still well with her stealth sort of theme. Okay, so moving on, next we have Volt, and I've given Volt his Tenogen Grax skin, and I've given him a color combination of almost a dark black, this dark bluish green, as well as not really a gold but more brass sort of metallic finish that goes well with his electricity sort of theme. And I think this looks really good, especially when you look at the Dex Syandana attachment and you see how well the brass Lotus glows in this sort of situation. So of course, again, I made the color combination of the attachment slightly different so that the Lotus pattern contrasts the dark cape really well. And overall, I really like this as well. I've given him Porta shoulder pieces as well as Porta leg pieces and EOS chest piece. And I've added the Arbiters of Hexus chest sigil here. But once again, it really doesn't matter. You could choose whatever you want. And this is kind of a different sort of color combination that I've had in the other ones. And so I just wanted to show it here. Yeah, I think Volt looks really nice this way. Now another possible combination is this dark black, kind of a bluish color, as well as a red and orange energy color here. And I think this looks really nice on Volt as well. It almost gives him a kind of a futuristic police sort of uniform sort of look. And I've made the Lotus in this case a very, very strong red glow look. And I think this looks really nice as well. It gives him a kind of an exotic look. I've given him the Daedalus chest piece as well as again the Porta shoulder pieces, and in this case I gave him the Acolyte sigil, but once again it really doesn't matter. The point I wanted to show here is again with this sort of combination, a contrasting Dex Syandana pattern looks really nice on Volt. Okay, so one last example here. I could go on and on, but I did want to show this one last example, at least, to show a much more whimsical side of the color patterns that you can do with this Dex Syandana. So here, I have Nova Prime, and I have her in a very pinkish, reddish, purplish sort of look. And as far as the Syandana was concerned, I gave it an overall light blue, pastel pink, and a darker pink for the Lotus design. And I think this looks really nice. This is a much more festive sort of look, a very whimsical sort of look, and the Syandana looks really good with that. I've used the Infested palette for the Lotus color, as well as the Easter palette for the pastel pinks, and finally the Twilight palette for her purples. But you know, in any case, this design of the Dex Syandana goes well with this much more cheerful, brighter sort of look as well. And so it is a very versatile Syandana. It has a relatively good medium size so that you don't get overwhelmed like you may with a cape, and yet it still has a very strong presence that you may not get with a scarf. And so yeah, this is a very nice Syandana. I'm very happy that DE was able to provide it to all the players for our anniversary present. So as a final thought, you know, the anniversary of any game is a very special occasion, and Digital Extremes did a really nice job of celebrating their anniversary by providing some really nice items for the players. And what's really nice is when you look at something like the Dex Syandana and look at all the care that's been brought in to make a very nice looking Syandana, you realize just how much the developers care for the game, and as well as for the players that have come to enjoy their work. And so yeah, thank you very much, DE, for a very nice anniversary item. And I hope you continue with a successful game and to be able to provide some really nice products in the future. Hint, hint. So anyway, this has been the video for the Dex Syandana. We thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you have any comments, please post them in the comments section below. We'll continue on with more Warframe videos in the future. And until the next video, we wish you all the best. And as always, Jaya, nice day everyone.